folks, welcome to the channel Thinking Theology. I'm Don. Hope things are going well in your neck of the woods. I'm doing a gift request, the very first gift request I've done on the channel, courtesy of Matt Galardo. Matt runs deep, and Matt has been a big part of my country music reaction channel. And now it's kind of poetic in some sense because this is the 100th video that I've done on the channel, and it happens to be a gift request, the very first one. And if you want information on how to make a gift to the channel for me to react to a song or something, it's in the description box below. Anyway, Matt, shout out to you. Thank you for this gift, my friend. This is a fun venture that a lot of us are on. So you'd requested Josh Ritter's song, Theophany. You said this would be ideal for my Thinking Theology channel, so I take your word on it, and I'm going to get into it. So let's see what Josh has for us with this song, Theophany. Here we go.
I was new to the capital city, so perhaps that's why I was chosen to be given the map. Or perhaps it was because the place where I worked meant that I wasn't just some other jerk. Either way, though, there it was one day after lunch, a map in an envelope there with a bunch of mail and other stuff there at my desk, with my name in old cursive, no return address. The map of the capital city was clear, and a dot marked the spot where it said you are here, but an X marked another spot down a few blocks. So I got out my notebook and I took a walk. Of course there was nothing for me to expect, but I write for the paper, so I go where I'm led. And this lead, it led me to a boarded up space between a convenience store and a foot massage place. With my pocketed notebook, my flashlight in my teeth, I stooped to the ground and I crawled underneath, down into the dark till it swallowed me up. I crawled downwards and downwards towards I didn't know what. Still after what felt like a mile, maybe more, the ground opened up into a vast marble floor, and a vast marble ceiling arched high and away, far up in the shadows where the real world lay. And there in the middle of the vast marble floor was a thing unlike anything I'd seen before. A rotating, spiraling mist made of lights that had something like wings made of serpent-like eyes. And I knew I was there because how could it not? And as it read my mind, I tasted its thoughts, and I felt every mask that I ever wore drop. And I knew in that moment I was looking at God.
I had to pause for a second. Holy crap. I obviously don't know where this is going. You never know where Josh is going with anything, not even the next line, but I tasted his thoughts. That, I don't think I've ever heard of. Wow, that's a whole nother level of understanding.
But not the God I'd read about or had been taught.
Ooh.
Not some almighty, vengeful, beneficent God. This God had been humbled or diminished or both, and whatever it once was now tied to a post. And as I read its mind, or whatever it's called, it told me of how they locked it in a vault. It had come from a place far over the waves, and before that a place that did not have a name. But like bread in the body, water and wine, there were those who could use it to turn wrong to right. So they used it for all the things God is used for Second Amendments and new holy wars, and helping the strong so so that they'll feed the weak, protecting the mighty that they might shepherd the meek. And when people get shot and folks say that they care, they need something to go through, the thoughts and the prayers.
Dichotomy.
And so they had used it again and again. And with its moral authority, each time they'd win. And in fear of escape, and in hopes just to keep the God to themselves, they had buried it deep. Still they feared it less than just some common ghost. And whatever it once was now tied to a post. And then came the letter, and then I arrived, looking down on the ground at the rope loosely tied. Oh, two had been trapped here for hundreds of years, fed on requests and watered with tears, when like all wild things it deserved to be free, to live on its own, and maybe then so could we. So light burned my face as I worked out the knots, and the wind from the howling the wings was so hot that I thought I might die till the rope fell away and I fell to the ground. That's where I stayed.
Humble.
When I awoke in the darkness, alive and alone, the God once possessed beneath the city had flown. So I picked up my flashlight and left as I came. Out on the street, it had started to rain.
How do you decide what chords to play on a song like this? That is standard Josh Ritter. It's open to interpretation on so many levels. This to me bespoke, one, he did insert into the line that this isn't a God that you'd read about, basically the way I'd heard it, like in the Bible or the ones that we commonly think about. This is a different God that we made under the city, but they salted him away, been there thousands of years. But I mean, when you've read like the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament, there is that where Satan gets locked up for in the New Testament, gets locked up for 1,000 years, then it gets out. I think that's in Revelation. Make of that book what you will. But I got the sense that even if this was sort of like the dichotomized God, like God in heaven, and then like Satan, Lucifer, the one that had fallen, and one's good and the other's evil, I almost get the sense that he could have switched roles here. Josh could have written this about God in heaven, and that we do the exact same thing. Like we use them for our own purposes. The one below that had been locked up, the reference to like flying off and it was so hot, like I guess like the wings and whatever was so hot, that's typically emblematic of Satan or hell and the evil. Yeah, he thought that he died. The guy in the character in this song thought he would die as it was flying away, but he didn't. The ropes were loosed and he was out. But is this just the releasing of a man's own conscience? Is that what this is? I don't think, I mean, it's a commentary, obviously, on broader society, because he brought in the Second Amendment and guns, and we say we care, but we really don't. And or his conception or perception of society, or both. But I mean, this could also just be one man's realization, a humility. I mean, in this thing, there was a humbling of it. But is it that you can't have good without evil and evil without good? I mean, that's a common idea. I don't know if it's true because I've never experienced just pure goodness. In my life, in your life on planet Earth, it's a mixed bag because we have death. It's that simple. There are moments of pure joy where you just feel like, and days that go, sometimes there's an entire day where like nothing seems to go wrong, but we're still in this cauldron on planet Earth where we know we're going to die one day. Yeah, it's standard Josh Ritter song, Matt. It's I'm not going to rate the song because I don't rate songs on this channel, but this was a mind bender because that's what Josh does. He goes to places, he puts in details that just, you think you have a lock and then you're somewhere else and then somewhere else in the thought world. But what is the relevance of knowing this being's thoughts so well that you could taste them? That's powerful stuff right there, where you mix up the senses. I'm sure there's a figure of speech that's assigned to that very purpose, but I don't know what that is. Cross-sensualization. But Matt, thank you for that, my friend. I think for that brain twister. It's a different mindset when I'm on the other channel, on the Country Music Reaction channel. Not entirely different. It can't be because I've only got one brain. But I look at songs a bit differently. And this one just strikes me as being about, it's like a dichotomy that, you know, good and evil, whatever we're going to, in a sense, choose, are how much hypocrisy is involved, how much utilization of different ideas of God or gods do we implement to justify how we live. That's what I've got so far on one listen. I don't know if it would be different on 100 listens. It probably would be. So it might be more confused. So Matt, thank you for that. Goodness gracious, I am in wonderment. Okay, folks, have a great day. I'll see you on another video and keep thinking theology.